Great. I'm Abby.
My name is Walter.
Elektra.
I'm Steve.
Elektra.
No, wait!
Where am I? Oh. I recognize this place, but I can't remember it. It's so foreign to me currently, but I can't help but remember it being a place of significance. A place where I could do stuff. A conventional place for me to review movies, review games, review music, whatever I want. Despite these memories being so vivid, I remember being somewhere else. A spaceship, I think, where I just stood around in a static position for multiple YouTube videos with a cringe voice, making bottom of the barrel YouTube videos that had no reason to exist. And then I fell down into hell after being ejected because I was the imposter. Wait, I'm a different person than I was before. I look really cool. I look even better than I did. What's this? Maybe I should review this for the hell of it. It looks like something worth watching. With the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, the MCU has seemingly came back to life in some senses, even if the movie itself is a bit trifling with some of the stagnant plot elements and the MCU's current obsession that had been killing the hype around MCU movies since after Endgame release. The multiverse. Slowly but surely for me personally though, Deadpool and Wolverine overcame the odds and worked really well with its multiversal aspects, even if it was admittedly very messy in a lot of ways. But this video is obviously not about that, and it's about if you haven't watched it yet and skipped to this time frame on screen to avoid it. But Elektra plays a decently important role within the movie. And while I did watch the original films she was in prior to this, Jennifer Garner did an excellent job of playing and fleshing out Elektra here. She actually felt fit to the role and absolutely deserved a third chance at this role. It's just a shame how awful her prior roles were as Elektra before she got this opportunity to be her again. She felt so adequate and perfectly fit the character for the first time, truly. Even if she had only realistically 4 to 7 minutes of screen time here. I guess technically I would be lying. Elektra 2005 is, well, certainly a Marvel movie pre-MCU. Where no one really gave a shit about any MCU character except for Spider-Man. The movie was by Rob Bauman, an actual renowned director who contributed to and made great works such as Star Trek: Next Generation, The X-Files, Castle, The X-Files again, and Reign of Fire. I didn't know this prior to me making this video. Now that has me wondering what the fuck went wrong. And to be honest, it's not all that surprising when you look at what he had to work off of. 2003's Daredevil was definitely a Marvel movie pre-MCU, aka mid. Elektra in that movie is absolutely awful and was absolutely flounderized as a character, becoming a Mary Sue for Matt Murdock to gawk and drool over before being killed in the goofiest way imaginable by an even goofier Bullseye that somehow was way better than any scene that she has in that movie, but also stole the movie in general and the little bits of time he had on screen. I don't know if the director's cut fixed this, but I suspect not, given just how awful the portrayal is here. I could explain more, but this video is about the Elektra movie. A movie that doesn't get talked about a lot, but deserves an analysis of its own for how awful it is, but also how it kind of redeems the portrayal of Elektra, in some senses, if that makes sense. Elektra 2005 is a spin-off of Daredevil 2003, taking place supposedly in the aftermath of being killed by Bullseye and Daredevil. The movie opens with what's meant to be a showcase of how much has changed for Elektra and how dangerous she is but being an exposition dump right off the get-go from a dude that's not even trying to escape being killed by her, while actively watching and hearing his men get killed while he's just sitting there yapping boring exposition over and over out of his mouth. He also explained that after being killed, she was resurrected by her martial arts master Stick, a blind man. Apparently she has rage issues and was removed from his academy because of them. Elektra works as a contract killer and receives a new target that's worth a ton of money suspiciously. I wonder what the twist here is. Definitely not something that's contrived and unoriginal. But anyway, she heads to the island with 2000s flashbacks and choppy editing, and all paired with these terrible slow motion action sequences. She is sent 2 days early, having to wait with these boring ass sequences in between to tread out an already short movie. Elektra swims, sets up fruit and other random shit, and continues to have these useless, boring flashbacks. After coming back from swimming, she sees an ominous shadow match with an ominous music to make you aware it is ominous, and throws a box cutter, pinning a kid to the wall. The kid broke into the apartment and stole her pendant. She lets her go, and she's amazed Elektra's abilities. More 2000s dreary flashbacks, one step away from being a Saw movie at this point. More boring sequences that try to flesh out how traumatized and haunted Elektra is, but fail and just reek of time wasting. I could be doing something else right now instead of watching this. Training montage of 2000s editing. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Oh look, another flashback sequence before finally introducing another character. The girl who broke into her house is revealed to the guy's daughter, named Abby. His name is Mark. More boring exposition and useless but gorgeous shots, and immediately broke by Abby's presence. She invites Elektra to Christmas dinner, and she accepts. Abby makes quirky statements and it's so flat it's not even funny. Kill me now. It has only been 25 minutes.
Elektra. Like the tragedy. Her parents must have had a sense of humor.
One of the only good jokes in the movie before immediately going into useless character building for his flat as hell stat characters that are more boring and predictable and stifled than most Marvel characters. Oh wait, that's most Marvel movies. Anyway, more boring ass shots, and wait, finally a shot that says something that's not useless? Holy shit, that's fucking crazy for this. Wow, the movie finally did something cool. Anyway, dumps, what the fuck is this, man? Anyway, flash forward to the next day and Elektra is contacted by the employer of her, and the targets have been revealed to be Mark and Abby. More montaging, and she's getting gear to assassinate them before getting guilty and having second thoughts about it, ultimately declining and pulling the trigger. If it was me personally though, I would have done it and ended the movie already. Easy money and 2 yappers that are so useless eliminated. Her employer says that they will hire someone else, and more flashbacks and useless shots to make this movie longer. Fuck, man, why? Elektra has a change of heart and comes back to stop them from being killed by ninjas? This movie is getting so much goofy, I swear to God. He saves Mark from being killed and proceeds to eliminate the first ninja. He erupts into a green fume that looks suspiciously like another green fume that's animated. You already know. She proceeds to help them survive and takes down more ninjas that also dissolve into the same fumes. They look so bad that it ruins any tension because of horribly CGI'd they are, and how goofy they look against the Breaking Bad yellows of this movie. Still better than most modern Marvel movie CGI though. We cut to Kirgi, an Asian man who serves his clan for the Hand, and for whatever reason has a vendetta against Elektra. Also in search of the treasure. Also, side note, the theme here fucking goes hard and also sounds eerily close to Mulan's theme for Shan Yu, with those plodding and menacing drums and the strings. Very, very close indeed. Roshi, Kirgi's father, allows him to create a new task force to get the treasure. Like the sibling says, he and his forces were not beaten by a mere woman. Kirgi on that grind set for real. Elektra runs about this and heads to Sixth place with 2000's op metal blaring, trying to drop Mark and Ivy off, only for him to be an absolute Giga Chad and lay his hands on her like an absolute blind Sigma. Aura blasting through the roof with this, for real, for real. A damn iPhone ringtone is used here. A stock sound effect in a movie with an estimated $43 to $65 million budget. Where'd most of the budget go? Jennifer Garner's paycheck to play a mid-portrayal of an incredible character?
Yes.
For eye candy?
Double yes.
Anyway, Elektra tries to tell Abby and Mark to go, and says she's only out for tattoos, eagle tattoo, to find out where they are. Admittedly, this bit is actually really, really cool, and actually doesn't look all that awful in terms of CGI from this time, but it's still Marvel CGI in a 2000s movie. After that, we get some of the best dialogue ever written, I think. 44 minutes in, and it's so beautiful.
So you really kill people for a living?
This movie has broken me internally. Mikhail invites them as a bit and is a stereotypical edgy side character of a 2000 movie. Sorry if my vocabulary sucks, by the way. I just don't know what to say for a movie so egregiously mid and lacking in almost everything except for more flashbacks. Oh my fucking god, please stop. Oh, wait. This is actually the first one that actually kind of works and actually kind of a clever tease of what is to happen next. Teaches Abby how to meditate with her, and oh my god, is that a fucking Resurrected reference? I love Turquoise Death. She exposition dumps to Abby before pulling a prank on her and being quirky. Although admittedly, this is actually another decent scene, and kind of finally establishes a decent connection between the two, instead of a weird circumstance where she's literally been commissioned to eliminate her. And the following scene is the exact opposite. They ain't even know each other a full fucking week. How are they already then with each other, other than this being a damn cheap trick to make a lovey-dovey relationship between the two leads, to win over the audience in the pursuit of headcanon and shitty fucking writing. Surprised this wasn't dropped in 2007 during the 2007 writer's strike, because this sure as hell feels like an outcome of that. Anyway, Kurigi's voice found them because of tattoo, Eagle's tattoo spying on them for 2 days, and Mikhail makes one last epic flow of a joke before meeting a quick end by Kurigi's blade.
You might as well kill me now, because I ain't talking.
The following sequence is actually really cool and surprisingly well executed in terms of choreography and CGI, when you don't look at it for more than 5 seconds. The frame rate, however, in almost every split second of this scene is awful and drags the pacing and the frenetic energy it should have tremendously down because of just how slow and sluggish it is. Abby screaming Elektra's name like Ethan does for Jason Heavy Rain, giving away their hiding spot and forcing them to run away before ultimately killing one of Kurigi's force, is one of the goofiest things of this movie, point blank. And then we get the Marvel equivalent of Abe kissing Gandhi, and that of Elektra being kissed by Toy, followed by Abby being captured and Stick saving her, and Elektra yet again with more flashback sequences. This movie is so peak, guys. God, it truly is peak. Absolute cinema. Stick reveals to her that Abby is the treasure. Whoa, I never saw that coming. And then he reveals that Elektra was too, and that her mother was killed in a battle between the two clans. I also never saw that coming. Wow, it's totally not a contrivance and totally not predictable as all hell. Then becomes apparent Stick was the one who set up the entire thing in the process in order to help Elektra find herself again and to relearn what it meant to truly be Elektra. Wow, again, another thing I never saw coming. Wow, movie, you were doing so much. I never saw any of this coming. And another thing, he says that he knew Elektra's heart was lured and pure, yet he allowed her to do contract killings for us however long that she did? Like, what the fuck?
This is the way.
If he really gave a fuck about her, he would have pulled her out the second she went to doing that. Anyway, this would work more with the dog shit movie and that of Daredevil 03 didn't exist, because this completely contradicts her lore in that movie and destroys the entire continuity. Why I chose to bring this up, I don't know. But it just makes it worse in some ways because that role could have went to someone who actually cared about the role more than Jennifer Garner ever could. Another little montage in Elektra tests Abby, outdoing her, and more useless padding shots. She then neurolinks to Kurigi saying that she would fight him to end things and agree if she died, Abby is theirs. But if he did, the hand wouldn't interfere again in any of their business. They then meet at a manor that has no prior context whatsoever, which should be surprising at this point in the movie. Yeah, but it is actually a legitimately really cool background set for what happens next. It is revealed through another set of flashbacks. Yippee, I'm so happy about these, man. I love flashbacks every 5 seconds. But this is Elektra's childhood home, and is finally a good use of them to explain something within this movie. I guess I could finally give this the "You Tried" star. Elektra is finally in her OG comic book suit, all red and preparing for the fight, and it actually looks really, really good. It looks way better than the all-black suit ever could, even if it did look pretty nice in Deadpool and Wolverine. But anyway, she explodes all the ninjas, being finally confronted by Kurigi. The following scene is legitimately the best in the entire movie. It's peak. The contrasting colors are really sick. The sheets moving around look so fluid and incredible, and even all the other quirks of this movie coming in for this one scene. The flashback, the slow motion, Abby's presence, and anything all come together to finally make a truly epic and accurate, deserving scene of such a character as Elektra. Too bad the movie is just now only peaking in 1 hour and 15 minutes and 1.5 hour runtime. It had so much boring exposition, dumping, and useless scenes attached to expand the runtime. Even Abby and Elektra's dynamic finally has came together here, not feeling awkward or devoid of personality. It actively fits Elektra's personality. Even the villains here are pretty solid and are actually good threats, albeit as good of a threat as you can have for a movie where you already know the outcome. But hey, I'll take it at this point. The CGI visuals are also pretty solid here too, and don't look absolutely awful, albeit it is camouflaged somewhat by the fact that this is the final part of the movie, and it is mostly at night where CGI tends to look more natural, especially if it is dark colored. Abby's encounter with Typhoid and interaction with Tattoo was legitimately sick, and Elektra's line delivery, Tattoo before snapping his neck, was so cold and so badass.
Nice trick. I've seen it before.
And was easily one of the most Elektra feeling moments in the entire movie. The third and the final fight with Kurigi between him and Elektra was also cool, with another great use of the slow motion for a sick shot before impaling him with her side and sending him down the well. His death is absolutely goofy though, albeit the green haze deaths finally have looked good with how he died and it blazing up in the well. It actually looked really cool, kind of evil looking. It fit. The final kill with Typhoid, while simple, also works. The shot of the side going through the hedge was incredible and hit really hard as one final, what's supposed to be cinematic scene, and it absolutely delivers, and it's easily one of the best scenes within the movie. Elektra takes Abby back in to the mansion before an obvious fake out that could have been seen a mile away happens. She's revealed to be alive, and they embrace. You see one final flashback of Stick resurrecting Elektra with her black suit on. The emotion here although would have been better if she would have stayed dead, but I don't know what you were expecting from a movie like this. And by you, I mean me for being so gullible. Elektra says goodbye to Abby and Mark, leaving the mansion to find herself and discover more about herself. She wishes that Abby won't be like her because of struggles, before Stick pops up and says goodbye to Elektra and convinces her that Abby should be more like her. And so that was Elektra.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
A mess of a movie that goes nowhere. Has so much excessive yapping and exposition dumping that doesn't make sense. Is too rushed to make any sense whatsoever either. And is just flat out awful in a lot of ways. And the arc of the story is just so generic. It follows every archetype I could think of under the sun for a movie. No one here truly, other than Stick and maybe Jennifer Garner's Elektra occasionally, stuck out. No Stan Lee cameo, and most of the movie in general is a big waste of time because most of it is flashbacks or these pointless scenes that are trying to build up characters that don't even have enough time to truly like each other or to really realistically be in love or like each other like that. But this movie also doesn't hold up as well because it no longer holds canon and completely strays away and outright contradicts any continuity it had with Daredevil 2003, let alone being part of a cinematic universe that was doomed from the start because no one gave a fuck about Marvel at the time. As cringe as Sony is for saying that in 1998, I think, I had to be honest and say they was right. Most Marvel projects from that time period are just either okay or downright dog shit and shouldn't have been made. To wrap back around, Deadpool and Wolverine, while not being the most coherent movie in it of itself, did shine a light on a lot of these characters by different actors that haven't been on the big screen in frankly years up until this point, as well as being a beautiful, slightly but also ironically beautiful, messy tribute to the old era of Marvel and a lot of the 20th Century Fox Marvel heroes that they had developed and helped create. And that made me realize that even if a lot of these movies from that time period are not good, are mediocre, or have really nothing to say, nothing to add of value, they still deserve to be remembered and still deserve to be recognized for what they did and what they are. In fact, every movie, regardless of how shitty, how bad, how awful it is, deserves some kind of recognition. If we just delete or remove every single bad piece of media, then the world would just be, we would literally be living in 1984, like George Orwell style. It would just be awful. Even the movies like Blade Trinity and Man-Thing and Fantastic Four 1994 deserve to be remembered, even if they were absolutely garbage and, quite frankly, disrespectful of their source material, or they just flat out sucked. Oh, that was an experience. Why is there a hole in my roof? What the hell? But I came from hell. Why did I fall through the roof? I guess I'll try and understand later. Anyway, yeah.
Psst, psst. Hey, over here. Hey.
What the Sigma?